Good evening. Right now, we are tracking strong storms dumping rain and hail all over the area.
And rescue crews have been busy helping people who tried to drive through high water and got stranded. Here's just a few of the many pictures you've been sending us of the huge hailstones that have fallen tonight. Most have been on the west side of town, like Spring Branch.
And up in Magnolia, Tiffany Pitts capturing this video of giant lightning. It's going to be a long night, folks.
We have a lot to show you. Our crews are spread out around town where the worst of the weather has hit so far.
David Paul, tell us what the heck is going on and what is next.
And you mentioned Spring Branch, and that's where the worst of the weather has been today. Lots of high water rescues, and there may be water in homes. There's a lot of the smaller creeks and bayous out there in Spring Branch, West Harris County, have come up over their banks. Here's the timeline as far as the rain chances go. 90%. We're in the meat of it right now. 10 o'clock. By midnight tonight, still a 90% rain chance. It does begin to taper down. Rain chances are going to push into the coastal counties, then offshore as we head between 4 and 6 a.m. So it will come to an end, but it is terrible outside right now. Flash flood happening right now, widespread across Harris and Fort Bend County. You guys in Sugar Land, it's coming your way too. Widespread street flooding and hail. Bayous are rising. The major bayous are within their banks, but boy, it's been the smaller tributaries out here on the west side in the Memorial Villages, north of I-10, south of 290, where they've had almost 6 inches of rain. This is where numerous high water rescues are taking place, west and northwest Harris County, and this is also where there may be some flooding in some of the homes out here as well. Again, 5 to 6 inches of rain just tonight. Boy, Tuesday it was Kingwood and Sugar Land, and tonight it's been the west side in Spring Branch. Now, the line itself, it is slowly, ever so slowly transitioning to the east. And the worst of it now has actually moved to East Harris County. So heads up, street flooding is happening right now. Pasadena to Barrett to Baytown, it's coming in your direction. Pearland, heavy thunderstorm just dumped a half-inch of rain near you. Downtown's about to get pounded. And then pushing towards Sugar Land, we're about to get a new round of storms come through your neighborhood as well. Here we are at 10 o'clock with the storms lined up across southeast Texas. Heading into midnight, the heaviest rain transitions to the coastal counties, Galveston, Chambers County, and then eventually offshore. I'll walk you through the next 4 to 6 hours. We'll get through this. We'll talk about what's coming next on Friday and Saturday, too. I'll see you in a couple of minutes.
Hope we can all get through it, as you say. The team coverage continues with Brett Buffington.
He is in Spring Branch tonight. What is happening there, Brett?
Amia, this place has just been inundated. At one point tonight, the meteorologist for the county tweeting out that here on this side of town, they were getting rain at a rate of 1 inch in 15 minutes. Take a look behind me. That is Hammerly Boulevard. And you can certainly see that plenty of drivers tried to get through the high water. One car down there stalled out. This car up on the median, don't know if it stalled out or had some kind of issue that maybe got stuck or something like that. But neighborhoods here, they are dealing with a lot of water. Just before we came on for this live shot, a high water rescue vehicle from the fire department passed through this intersection. Thankfully, did not see anyone in the back of that. But just a couple blocks to the north of where we are is Brickyard Gully. It is up to the side of its banks. In fact, this county tweeting out that in places it is out of its banks and into neighborhoods here. We did see water up to almost the window seals in at least a couple of homes. There's an apartment complex just on the other side of where we're doing this live shot. I talked to a guy who lives in there. He told me he can't even drive his car into where he lives to park because the water in the parking lot is that high over there. They don't need any more rain here on the northwest side of the city, but certainly it is still raining here. Thankfully, though, it does look like the drains are catching up. The water, at least for now, is going down. Lynn, Mia?
Really something to see. Thank you, Brett. Lots of you are sending us pictures and videos of hail, and in some cases, hail like this, as we mentioned, in Spring Branch, exactly where Brett is.
All right, let's continue our team coverage. Get right to Larry. See, we're live on the northwest side of town as well. Larry?
Well, Mia, it is no longer rising, but the water that is along this feeder road and around the corner on Hammerly stranded more than a few people this evening. This after hailstones rained down, too. Well, viewers near Spring Branch recorded this a couple of hours ago. Pictures shared with us also show hailstones the size of some people's palms. Flooding caused problems in this area too. Here at the Beltway in Hammerly, we saw water mid-tire deep on SUVs. Some people drove through. We saw none stuck, though plenty didn't risk it. One woman parked on high ground and walked home. Then there's Ozzy Martinez, who sat in his car after work debating what to do next.
Flooded cars that are already getting stuck. I can see trucks make it through, but other than that, the sedans are not doing it.
So what are you going to do?
I'm probably going to have to stay here for a while till something happens, till it goes down.
Well, Ozzy got out just fine when we got a small break in the rain. Back here live, you're looking at high water still along the West Beltway feeder road just north of Hammerley. We talked with a Precinct 5 deputy constable who told us they're not only keeping an eye on the feeder road here, but also just south and just north of I-10 at Westview Road. Lynn, Mia, back to you.
All right, stay safe out there. Larry Seaward, we'll take it from here. Thank you. Fort Bend County shared this warning, and we cannot stress this enough. If you see a road barricade, do not drive around it. You are putting your life at risk, as well as the first responders who would have to come save you. It's also a crime that could land you in jail for 3 months with a $2,000 fine. Just don't do it. Turn around, don't drown practically becomes a mantra during these severe weather events.
Levi Ismail at Houston Trend Star tonight, where city and county emergency leaders monitoring the situation. Levi?
Well, if the city and county officials weren't already here, they are definitely being called in because they are monitoring the weather conditions that you can see behind me here. This is something that they can see upstairs, and you can see all of that severe weather heading right in our direction. On the opposite side, we also have the traffic conditions, and this is definitely something that will definitely impact tomorrow. As you can see, the high water areas, we're just starting to see those indicators on the map there. Now, we did have a chance to speak with Lena Hidalgo earlier, and she told us about some of the areas that they're focused on, mainly the Spring Branch and the Addicts area, because of a lot of the severe weather and some of the rain that's causing some of that standing water in those areas. Now, the other things that she had to mention also includes some of the concerns with having to get some of the barricades out there to make sure that people do not go into the standing water themselves. Here's what else she had to say.
We are deploying barriers where they need to be deployed. We ask that folks don't go around barricades if they're driving. We are in touch with the Red Cross. 3 shelters are up should we need them, and there's a plan for more shelters where they to become necessary.
Point, the message is to make sure you stay indoors if you can at any rate. Just make sure that you do not get outside in the severe weather. Right now we are monitoring all of these conditions and making sure that we have the up-to-date information for your commute for tomorrow on air and online. For now, we'll toss it back in the studio.
Yeah, for now, just sit still. Levi Ismail from Transtar, thank you. Let's swing southwest. People in Fort Bend County are keeping a nervous eye on the Brazos River, which could reach higher levels than the tax day flood from a few years ago.
Oh, enough is enough, but it's coming. Lauren Tallarico along the river in Richmond tonight with their concerns, and I understand a lot of lightning where you are. Lauren?
Yeah, a lot of lightning, and as you can tell, it is just chucking it down with rain. But here we're at Wetzendorf Park, which is right next to the Richmond Police Department. And it's not only the rain that folks are worried about here, it's the Brazos River, because see this park? It is already covered in water. The Brazos here is about 2.5 feet above its flood stage and rising. In fact, the projections increased a few hours ago. By Sunday, it's expected to crest at nearly 50 feet, and that is at major flood level. So of course nobody likes to hear that. This is a slow concern that we have out here. What does that mean? It means that roads and homes in the county will likely face some serious damage. We've already seen some of that near Brazos Bend State Park today. The river there has invaded nearby fields and homes, and there is concern it will even rise above bridges, trapping some folks. Now today the Fort Bend County Office of Emergency Management was helping evacuate livestock. Also, some roads are underwater already, and that's why Brazos Bend State Park is closed too. Now, emergency officials are keeping a close eye on both the Brazos and the St. Bernard rivers, of course, and they are asking you to do the same exact thing. They are tracking conditions by drone and have uploaded those videos for you on their Facebook page so you can see exactly what is going on in your backyard. Now, besides signing up for KHOU text alerts, of course, Fort Bend County residents can also get alerts from the county by texting FBC Alert to 888-777. That's 888-777. Of course, there is no such thing as too much warning. So Fort Bend County residents who are a bit anxious, and I know there are a lot of you because this river has caused some serious damage in the past, emergency officials also have boats and rescue vehicles standing by in case you need them. But don't be like me if you don't have to be. Stay home, cuddle up, watch a movie. Back to you guys.
All right, hang in there, Lauren. The Brazos rising. Thank you. Check out a time lapse now of the storm pounding Minute Maid Park tonight, where the Astros are playing the Rangers. It's been raining so hard, water has actually been getting inside, even though the roof is closed. Jason Bristol will give the latest on this game a little bit later in the newscast.
At one point, Bush Airport ordered a ground stop because the weather was too bad for planes to take off or land, but that was lifted at 9:30. But both Bush and Hobby airports have canceled dozens of flights tonight and tomorrow, so be sure to check the status of your flight before heading to either airport. The rain, by the way, causing school districts to cancel classes, as you see there on your screen. Dayton, Tarkington, Hardin, Liberty, Splendora, Royal, Montgomery, and Cleveland are joining New Caney ISD and shutting down tomorrow. Houston Community College and San Jacinto College are postponing graduation ceremonies until next week. We'll update you if more come in. School closures, that is, on H-Town Rush. That is starting bright and early at 4:30.
Yeah, that's a long list. And now would be a very good time to download the KHOU 11 app if you haven't done so. You can get the latest school closures, look at radar in your neighborhood, and of course, be sure to turn on the notifications so you can get weather alerts as they happen.